Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start chapter 602 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Chapter 1029, Starting a Business with Classmates. The message that popped up in the group chat was from their class monitor, Yang Fengying, tagging her directly. Wei Xiling had attended the prestigious RDFZ, the high school affiliated with Renmin University. In Yanjing, and even across the country, RDFZ was considered one of the top high schools. Every year, over 500 students from there made it into China's top universities. The admission rate to first-tier universities? Nearly 100%. You heard that right, 100%. And of those, a solid 1 or 200 would get into the nation's most elite. Yanjing University and Huaxing University. Just in their class 1 of grade 12, more than a dozen students had been accepted into Yanjing or Huaxing. Compared to most high schools across the country, RDFZ was on a whole different level when it came to educational resources and faculty. To get into a school like this basically meant you were already on track for a top university. Many of the students here got early access to research projects, and those who competed in international math and physics competitions were almost always from elite schools like this. To students in regular schools, those contests weren't even on their radar. Brutal truth? Some people are just born on the finish line. What you might chase your whole life was just someone else's starting point. Staring at the chat full of her old classmates, Wei Xiling suddenly got an idea. I'll invite my classmates to join me. If we can form a team, it'll look more legitimate. Chen Yuan won't think I'm just messing around, and the whole thing will sound way more credible. If we brainstorm together, maybe we can come up with 100 different project ideas. You're rich, right, Chen Yuan? Let's see how much you can really take. As for whether any of the projects would actually succeed, probably not. They were all just fresh high school grads, no management experience at all. Just a bunch of clueless students. Thinking they could run a company? Yeah, right. Still, she replied to Yang Fengying. Okay, class rep, I'll head over in a bit. And hey, try to call as many of our old classmates as you can. I've got something big to talk to you all about. She even sent the voice message with an air of mystery. What big thing? Yang Fengying asked, curious. You'll find out. Meet me at the east gate of Yanjing University. All right, I'll do my best to contact everyone. Not sure how many will show though. Around 10 a.m., more than 20 RDFZ graduates gathered outside the Yanjing University East Gate. Wei Xiling led the group to a nearby milk tea shop and generously bought a drink for everyone. Among them, half had gotten into Yanjing University, the rest into Huaxing, and just a few had landed in Renmin University. Still, these were all top-tier students. Birds of a feather flocked together. And smart kids? They only hung out with other smart kids. Xiling, what's the big secret? Why so mysterious? A boy with glasses and a soft voice asked gently. He was one of Wei Xiling's many admirers. But he knew his place. No matter how hard he worked, he could never match up to a goddess like her. Xiling cleared her throat. Ahem. I called you all here because I've got something serious to discuss. I've decided to start a business. But I don't have a team yet, and that's why I need your help. She lowered her voice on purpose, trying to sound mature and professional. Start a business? Are you opening a tutoring center? Private tutoring? Not a bad idea. You could earn some pocket money that way. No way, tutoring centers aren't allowed anymore. I say open a milk tea franchise. That stuff makes bank. Or stream lessons online. Teach elementary school math. You're so pretty, Xiling. If you became a streamer, you'd definitely rake in the cash. Everyone started throwing out ideas. Xiling rolled her eyes. Seriously? Can you guys think a little bigger? Here. I made a business plan. I printed 20 copies. Take a look. She passed the plans around. As they flipped through the pages, everyone looked a little confused. A 6S auto service chain, thousands of locations across the country, dominate the entire market in one go. Wait, what? Xiling quickly asked. So, what do you guys think? One classmate said. Honestly, Xiling, the concept is interesting. But if I were an investor, I wouldn't touch this. You're basically trying to build an entire auto ecosystem. But the scope is way too big. It would take huge upfront investment. I bet even in 5 or 10 years, you wouldn't break even. You'd need constant funding just to stay afloat. And who knows if you'd even make a profit. Plus, you're talking about brick and mortar. Physical businesses are tough right now. Heavy overhead, hard to scale, and massive payroll. I think the idea is ambitious, but honestly, not very practical. That was from Vice Class Rep Zhang Wei, who tried to phrase things gently. Another chimed in. Exactly. You'd need, like, 10 billion in funding just for the first phase. This isn't starting a business. This is burning cash. Xiling smirked. You're all underestimating me. Let me tell you the truth. I already secured a 10 billion investment from CEO Qian. I can go full steam ahead. She said it calmly, casually waving her hand. Wait, what? You really got 10 billion? Of course. I already have 23 auto franchises under my name. She pulled out her phone with a cool flair, showing them the acquisition contracts. There were even photos of her with the CEOs, including Yin himself. The whole group went dead silent. Even class monitor Yang Fengying was left speechless. No one had ever imagined their 18-year-old classmate was now worth over 8 billion. Shocked, stunned, absolutely floored. Everyone gasped. Damn it. She really pulled this off. Most of them would probably graduate from a top university and earn maybe tens of thousands a month. But Wei Xiling? She was already running a billion-dollar empire. The gap was staggering. Suddenly, everyone realized this might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If they jumped in now, they could change their lives forever. Time to take it seriously. President Wei, if this project really is backed by CEO Yin, I might have a small suggestion. That one line, President Wei, made Xiling beam with pride. So this is what it feels like to be the boss. Not bad. The others, though young and a bit inexperienced, were all brilliant thinkers. And just like that, everyone started diving into the business plan, brainstorming ideas, and proposing changes. Chapter 1030, such a deep, far-reaching plan. Everyone was buzzing with excitement, passionately discussing the business plan. But deep down, Wei Xiling was panicking. She had been bluffing the whole time. Chen Yuan hadn't even agreed to invest yet. She was just trying to hype everyone up, to get them excited and motivated. She thought if she acted confident, it would encourage the team. But now, if Chen Yuan ended up turning her down, that'd be total social death. She'd explode from embarrassment on the spot. How would she ever face her classmates again? Why did I do this to myself? Why did I have to brag like that? Just to show off. It's my stupid pride. She hadn't thought it through at all. Acted on impulse. Then realized later that she'd basically dug her own grave. Only after stepping into the mess did she realize. Yep, total clown behavior. Suddenly, hey, look over there. Isn't that CEO Yin? Whoa, it really is him. Xiling, did you plan this? We've already finished the project proposal, and since we're all here, this might be the perfect moment, right? Xiling, go show him the plan. Everyone turned to look. There, walking toward them, was a tall, handsome man, alongside a stunning woman, graceful and poised. Chen Yuan and Qin Wushuang. And just like that, they had run right into them. Awkward didn't even begin to cover it. Wei Xiling ducked her head, trying to hide behind her classmates, praying that Chen Yuan wouldn't notice her. But in the next moment, her classmates all stepped aside, clearing a path that exposed her completely. You guys. Hey there, what a coincidence. Xiling, fancy meeting you here, Chen Yuan said, raising a hand to greet her casually. He wasn't even wearing a mask, but walking through Yanjing University hadn't caused any crowding. Just a few passers-by took a photo from a distance. These days, unless celebrities announce their locations in advance, they rarely get swarmed. People were curious, but not that obsessed anymore. No crowd, no chaos. Xiling, it's you. Out with your classmates today. Qin Wushuang also smiled and waved. Now there was no turning back. Xiling had no choice but to face the music. Chen Yuanji, Wushuangjia, hi. Let me introduce you. These are my high school classmates. They're also my business partners now. We've formed a startup team together, and this is our business proposal. Chen Yuanji, would you take a look? She blinked at him rapidly, secretly begging for backup, then handed him a copy of the plan. Xiling, you're already diving into entrepreneurship at your age? Qin Wushuang looked surprised. This girl had never shown much business ambition before. What had gotten into her? That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. Also, if you know other fans who were reading this manhwa but stopped because it got axed, share this video with them. The more support we get, the more motivation we'll have to keep making these videos. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.